Good evening, wrestling fans. Welcome to Evolution of Pro Wrestling. I am your host, Lewis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And I'm Jay, the Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
Hey, always a great introduction. Welcome back, fans, to another edition of Evolution of Pro Wrestling. We're glad you're back for the inter-promotional tournament part 2. But before we go into this tournament, we are going to discuss a little bit what happened this week, Jaden. Drew McIntyre is the new WWE champion.
His entrance was crazy.
Oh yeah, no, his entrance was definitely that was a WrestleMania worthy entrance, you know. Yeah. So
they need to make him another entrance like that for WrestleMania. Speaking of WrestleMania,
no, absolutely, and I'm like, wow, now we're gonna see Roman against Drew. That's this Sunday.
Survivor
this Sunday,
Series.
Which we gotta also do some predictions today.
We do.
With our Survivor Series predictions, we're gonna do that. Me and you, we're gonna get to the point as to why WWE put the title on Drew McIntyre and why they wanted this match.
Right.
So, Jaden.
Yeah.
This is part 2 to our Evolution of Pro Wrestling inter-promotional tournament that so far has been unique and shocking at the same time, because the last tournament, the first bracket A, everything was going towards the Fiend. How ironic was that? That
was a coincidence right there. That's absolutely insane. I did not expect the Fiend to move on to the finals. I didn't expect that. I thought it would be someone like Sting or Seth Rollins or Stan Hansen or CM Punk, one of those people. Mm-hmm. But out of all people, I did not expect the Fiend. So, congrats on the Fiend, making it to the finals, and I'm really looking forward to seeing his opponent.
Oh, absolutely,
because the Fiend can go against just about absolutely everybody that comes through his path. So I feel like anybody that we choose on this list will be a good pick for him.
Oh, absolutely. We as we go, let's name the matches. We actually got Roman Reigns against Umaga. 2 bulldozers. Samoans that get into the mix, I should say. Like you got two titans. 2 titans that are ready to explode. And we got some fans here. We got Jessica Hoffman and Justin Wayne. We are also going to welcome back into the show the always controversial, always unpredictable, sometimes a jerk in his good way, but very upfront, Mr. Jose G from Weekends of Wrestling. Welcome, sir, back for part 2 of Evolution of Pro Wrestling Inter-Promotional Tournament. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? How's my audio? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear. All right, good. I just want to make sure. Hold on. Let me just change the settings. Is it better now or worse?
It's better.
It's better.
It's better now? All right.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Awesome. What up, y'all? Y'all ready to get this tournament underway?
Yeah, we're ready. We're actually announcing the matches to the fans. So we're actually starting with Roman Reigns against Umaga. That's a match that to this day people would have wanted to see with these 2 titans of the Iona family. We got Hulk Hogan against John Cena. Another dream match many people thought about. Ravishing Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect, which I think these 2 were 2 of the top heels ever in professional wrestling, especially Ravishing Rick Rude. And then we got Ric Flair, 16-time champion, against Daniel Bryan. Who do you see taking this tournament, Jose?
I don't know yet, man. We gotta break it down. I mean, who would have thought the Fiend was gonna be the one to make it to the finals on last week? So it's kind of hard to bet on the Fiend right now.
Right.
No, absolutely, man. It's gonna be interesting to see this tournament now. So let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
Jaden, we got Roman Reigns against Umaga. Let's see what the wheel is gonna determine. Oh, by the way, fans, we changed up a few of the stipulations, so it's not going to be your average match, you know. So, Jaden, spin that wheel.
Let's do this. Let's spin. Good spin.
First blood match.
We started off crazy.
We started off hard. First blood match. Jose, I'm going to kick this off to you. First blood match, two of the, possibly one of the powerful Iona family members to ever go to do battle. Umaga alone is a beast back in the early 2000s. How do you see this match going in a first blood match?
You know, I may catch a lot of flack for this from your viewers, but I was never a big Umaga fan. I was never on the Umaga train. Like, I know how people love Umaga. I was like, I was never a huge Umaga fan, but I know how badass he is. You know, I don't know. At that time, I wasn't really watching wrestling. Like, because I took like a hiatus from wrestling for a while, you know? So I think that was like the time period. I still kind of kept my eye on what was going on, but like Umaga really never did it for me. Like, I really never understood like why people liked Umaga the way they did at the time. Roman's a different beast. Like Roman right now, he's having the best career of his life. However, I have seen some Umaga matches, and I gotta say that Umaga is a lot more savage than Roman Reigns. So if I have to pick someone to go over on this match, it's got to be Umaga.
I agree. Okay. It has to be Umaga.
So we got one Roman, Christopher Brown. Welcome, brother. He got Roman. You guys got Umaga. I don't know. You know, Umaga was he was very powerful. You know, they called him the Samoan Bulldozer for a reason. But like you said, Roman Reigns has had that success in professional wrestling, especially now as the tribal chief. And in a first blood match, I think I got to go with Roman on this one. You know, I like the aggressive side, you know, so it's tied 2-2, which means.
But then, like, that's kind of, if you like his aggressive side, then that would also be kind of hard to decide on, because if you want to see Roman's aggressive side, Umaga is already an aggressive person to start with. That's just the way Umaga acts. He's a really. That's like you said, they call him the Samoan Bulldozer for a reason, because he's a savage. And Roman Reigns is now showing his savage side. So it would really be hard to decide if you want to see a first blood match.
Okay. So let's see what the final fans got. Okay, so my wife said Roman Reigns, so obviously that's Blake says Umaga, so it's tied. It's still tied, 6-6. So 3-3. So we're gonna have to go with a majority rules here. Jaden, I said we're probably gonna go with.
I think we have the tiebreaker. Luis Cedeno, you just said Umaga.
Umaga. So
Umaga
won the first blood match. Wow. So he is going to the next round.
I wouldn't be surprised to see John Cena.
Oh yeah,
that would be crazy.
All right, there we are. Umaga. So, Jaden, tell us our next match.
Hulk Hogan versus John Cena.
Okay, now before we get into that match, fans, feel free to share our content all over social media. You know, press that share button right in the bottom and share it all over your page, your groups. Bring your friends, your family, your cousins, whoever.
Everybody.
Bring them into this tournament. Bring them into watching professional wrestling as we talk, as we do best. You know, with Jose G, Week of Wrestling. As always, let's do it up and let's get some fans in here. So, Jaden, so you mentioned Hulk Hogan and John Cena. Many people have wanted to see this match from the get-go when John Cena was in WWE, but it never happened. Why do you think it never happened?
It probably never happened because, you know, it's like it probably was something similar with the Brett and Shawn situation. There was too much pride in both of them, because depending on the John Cena we were talking about, John Cena was popping at the time. Hulk Hogan was popping at the time, and, you know, those are two icons. So if one of them loses, they're going to think that's a ball drop, and that's probably why they didn't want to fight each other. Too much pride, and yeah, that was just about it. It was all pride. They probably didn't want to fight each other, or one of them didn't want to fight another.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting. What do you think, Jose? You think the match should have happened? You think Hulk Hogan didn't really want to put John Cena over?
Nah, I completely disagree with everything Jay just said. I think at the time when Hogan was still around at the early 2000s, The Rock was the guy that was popping, and that was the guy that got the torch passed to. John Cena was just getting in. Like John Cena was still Doctor of Thugonomics. He was still not real green, but like, you know, he wasn't even mid card yet at that point. So to have a match with Hogan and Cena at that time would have been very premature because Cena didn't get into the height of his career until 2010, 2011. So with that being said, that would have been a very interesting match. I would have loved to see how the build would have been between John Cena and Hulk Hogan. I wonder if they were going to do like a long-term story type of deal with this, with this rivalry, or just kind of like what they did with The Rock and Hulk Hogan, kind of like an icon versus icon situation. So,
Yeah.
I gotta go with John Cena, dude. John Cena, bro. I gotta go with John Cena. John Cena has tied Ric Flair in the most world championship title reigns. Hulk Hogan hasn't even come that close to those titles, to that amount of title reigns. So, not to mention that John Cena had a longer stint than Hulk Hogan did in the WWE. You know, Hulk Hogan came, he left, then he came back, and then he left again. Like John Cena's just been consecutively there for like almost 15 years, almost 20. You know, so that's just me. So I got Cena. I got Cena.
Me too.
No, it's. Listen, I'm a huge Hogan fan. Since I was 5 years old, and you know, I consider him the best wrestler of all time, bar none. But in this particular case,
I'm leaving. I'm just joking.
I pretty much, I know John Cena has done a lot more, in my opinion. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, Hulk Hogan revolutionized professional wrestling in the 80s, going into the 90s, NWA. But in that era, John Cena proved that, yes, he was loyal all those years. Never went anywhere, never went to the opposing company. He still stood there even when shit got bad, that they were making him lose like crazy when Brock Lesnar was kicking the shit out of him all the time and getting beat down by the Big Show. He still stood there. So, yes, I'm going to go with John Cena as well, which means we got a clean sweep, and John Cena goes to
spin the wheel.
Next round. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. We didn't spin the wheel.
We got to spin the wheel first. We got to spin the wheel first.
We forgot. It would have been a retirement match. Check that out. A retirement match. Perfect match.
How ironic is that?
Exactly.
Right.
So
Hulk Hogan and John Cena would have won that.
Exactly. So John Cena just retired Hulk Hogan.
Oh man.
And I don't think there was anybody opposed to John Cena. Like I think everyone picked John Cena in the comments.
Yeah,
I think
it was a clean sweep.
It was a clean sweep.
It was a clean sweep. Jay, don't let us forget the wheel.
I didn't. That's why I reminded you.
No,
do your job, Jay.
Do
your job, Jay. Do your job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
He said you, not me. He said, hey, do your job,
I'm doing my job. I told him.
He told you to get the wheel. Get the wheel.
I told him to get the wheel. He's the wheel guy. I'm just the guy that spins it.
Do your job.
Okay. All right, Jaden. The next match. Ravishing Rick Rude against Mr. Perfect. Let's spin this wheel.
All right. We will remember this time.
Let's go. Wow. Falls count anywhere match. Jaden, I'm going to kick this off to you.
Rick Rude.
Ravishing Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect.
Honestly, I don't know how this match would have turned out because I've seen both wrestlers fight, and Mr. Perfect, I understand why they call him the most perfect man in wrestling because he's phenomenal in the ring. But you can't sleep on Ravishing Rick Rude either because he's also another phenomenal wrestler. But these guys look more like in-ring wrestlers. So to be honest, I can't really see that happening. But the wheel picked it. But to be honest, if I had a pick for it, it'd be Mr. Perfect. That'd be my pick. I'll pick Mr. Perfect.
Okay.
I feel like Mr. Perfect, if it was to come to a falls count anywhere, Mr. Perfect would just be the guy for that.
Okay. I can actually see the match in a falls count. Radish McGood has taken on a lot of tough people. One including Bruiser Brody. At the time in WCCW, those two went at it like in a no holds barred. So Radish McGood is capable of it. Mr. Perfect, I wouldn't say so much because he's more technical to me, but he's also been in certain matches in the past in AWA when it's come to, I think he even fought in a cage match back then.
But to be honest, some of the technical wrestlers are the strongest ones. So look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was a technical wrestler, and look at the power.
Hulk Hogan was never technical.
He looked like the type of person.
He was a monster. Anyway. You pick who you picking, Mr. Perfect?
I'm picking Mr.
Okay. I'm going with Ravishing Rick Rude. What's your pick, Jose?
I think I'm gonna go with Ravishing Rick Rude as well, man. I love Ravishing Rick Rude. One of the greatest intercontinental champions, bro. He was awesome. I love his tights. He was ahead of his time from back in the day. I love Mr. Perfect. Yeah, he
should have won WWE title.
He should have. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He absolutely should have. Yes.
Too many politics back then, man. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect though, like Mr. Perfect, just like Jay said, like he's awesome inside the ring, but I just can't see him doing like a no holds barred foul, falls count anywhere, where I can see Rude kind of like getting nasty in there. So I think I'm gonna go Ravishing Rick Rude here.
All right, so we got any other picks for Ravishing Rick Rude? I think we're good. So there you have it. Ravishing Rick Rude goes on to the next round. Oh man, shaping up to be an interesting side B here. So, Jose, Ric Flair, 16-time champion against submission machine Daniel Bryan. How do you think this wheel is going to land?
Where the wheel's going to land? I don't know where the wheel's going to land. I mean, how many choices you have there?
Oh, we got 10.
You got 10. So I got 1 out of 10 chance to land it right.
Yep. You got a 1 out of 10 chance.
You know what? I'm going to call it a cage match. It's going to be a cage match between Daniel Bryan and Ric Flair.
Okay, let's check it out.
What was it?
No holds barred match.
Ah, yeah.
That's a pretty good match, though. Pretty good match.
Jose, I'm gonna kick this off to you.
American Dragon, Daniel Bryan all day, every day. You ain't gotta convince me, bro. You ain't got, bro. Daniel Bryan in his prime against Ric Flair in his prime. Ric Flair don't want none. Ric Flair, you may have 16 championship reigns to your title, but you ain't no American Dragon, Daniel Bryan. I'm being dead serious. I don't care. I'm probably gonna get flack for that, but technicality wise, bro, inside that ring, and what is it? No holds barred.
No holds barred.
Yeah, bro. Daniel Bryan all day. Daniel Bryan, bro.
Well, we got a lot of fans that say otherwise.
And
that's fine.
Flair, we have 2 that had brought, 3 now.
Okay, but you gotta look at the.
Christopher Brown said Bryan, so that's 3 and 3.
But you gotta look at the circumstances with that. You have to understand. Ric Flair I get it. Ric Flair is one of the greatest of all time. He's the dirtiest player in the game. He has a 16-time title reign.
Mm-hmm.
But Daniel Bryan is a guy for those type of matches. Don't get me wrong, Ric Flair's had his fair shares of, cage matches. He had a table match with Batista, and I'm pretty sure it was the Dudleys or something like that. He had his fair shares of those type of matches. But Ric Flair is one of those type of guys that uses the same move constantly. that chest slap, and he does his little elbow drop or whatever he does. Daniel Bryan is a different breed now, especially like you said. The prime Daniel Bryan was the best Daniel Bryan and will be the best Daniel Bryan.
And when you're at your prime, that's when you're the most dangerous. And for most people, that's when you're the most dangerous.
Well,
listen. One of the things
we got a fan that's saying that's disrespectful.
And I get it, and I sympathize with you because the wrestling fan part of me wants to pick Ric Flair.
But it's the technicality. You see
exactly
when you see the okay.
Exactly.
I'm not taking anything away from Ric Flair. Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game, bar none. 16-time world champ. The man can take the lickings. He takes matches. He's done cage matches, war games in the Four Horsemen. But Daniel Bryan, to me, has more of that aggressive side to him. Like he can outmatch you. He can out-submission you.
And he's fast.
And he's fast. And for fast,
he's acrobatic.
And he hits hard.
He does.
It's not like he's running with the knees just to play patty cake. No, he's coming full damn force at you.
Especially the yes kids.
So who do you think has a stiffer chop, Bryan or Flair? Because
Flair.
I have to say Flair.
You think Flair has the stiffer chop?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I gotta give Flair.
To be honest, I feel like Flair's a master.
You know, Bryan's chop is lethal too. Like he lets you take it, but in this case, in that type of match of no holds barred, I have to go with Daniel Bryan.
Me too.
So
yeah, absolutely. Listen, from a technicality standpoint.
No, exactly.
Just like Jay said, you know, Daniel is a hybrid wrestler. You know, Flair is a old school wrestler, more focused on the pageantry as opposed to the technicality. So again, I think we got it right with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, no. We even got a comment from Jeff Robinson, current trivia champion. He says I love Flair, but Bryan is taking it. And Jessica Hoffman says the same thing. It's because it's the technicality of the type of style.
Exactly. Especially in that specific
match.
You're gonna need that type of technicality if you want to fight.
Exactly. So, all right. So we got the semifinals right now. We got Umaga and John Cena, and Rick Rude and Daniel Bryan. Wow.
So much to say for the first match, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Once we spin this wheel,
I already know how this is gonna end.
Me too. Me too. I feel it.
I already know this is how this is gonna end. This is gonna end John Cena versus The Fiend.
Oh man.
I feel it.
All right, let's see. I get it. Let's spin this wheel. It's your turn to mine.
It's my turn. You spent the last
one. But we still have semifinals to go through, so let's get through that. What do we got? What is that? What's that? That's shenanigans. You moved it. I saw you. Respin it. That pin got stuck. Shenanigans.
Nope.
There we go. Okay.
We did that. No holds barred. So that's gone. We forgot to erase these.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna freestyle the blank, or we're gonna.
We were discussing that if this wheel lands on a blank, we choose the stipulation.
I already got my stipulation.
Okay, let's hear it.
I want a last man standing match, and I say that because they had the best last man standing match I have ever seen.
So So if that's the case, maybe you should change it to something different that you think will be more lethal.
So then let's keep an extreme moves.
Okay.
That would be lethal.
Jose, what about you?
Let's get creative up in this bitch, okay? Okay. So who is it again? We got John Cena and Umaga.
John Cena and Umaga.
John Cena and Umaga. All right. I'm going to call this the Samoan suicide match.
Oh.
Okay. And this consists, you remember how when they did with Jinder Mahal, that cage with the bamboo? The Punjabi prison. So you could do something similar, but instead of like the bamboo, you use like palm trees and all this,
that would be cool.
This crazy ass gimmick, and then just kendo sticks everywhere. Instead of steel chairs, you have wooden chairs. So like all that stuff is legal, and the only way to win is that your opponent has to stay down for the count of 10, kind of like a last man standing match.
Okay.
That would be
So
okay,
so just to clarify, name that stipulation one more time for the fans.
I'm calling it. I'm being stupid, but I'm calling it a Samoan suicide match.
Perfect. A Samoan suicide match, fans. Umaga and John Cena.
Who's the pick?
Because
that's the question. Like, how is this even gonna go? Like, how is this match even gonna start?
One word to describe this match: bloody. That's.
Oh, it's
that's
definitely gonna be bloody.
Especially,
but is it gonna be bloody for John Cena?
John Cena, but John Cena.
Because last time he kicked the shit out of him in the last man standing match.
John Cena works his best when he's bloody because John Cena is forced to use things that he shouldn't have used previously before he was standing. Just like in the last man standing match, he used, I forgot what he used, but he used one of those recorder boxes on the announce table. Umaga fell through the announce table. He used a rope to put him in an, I think it was an STF to win the match. So when John Cena's covered in blood, that's when he works his best because he's forced to do things in order to keep on his feet.
So who's your pick?
John Cena.
Okay. Jose, how do you see this match going? This vicious match you just announced, like I just seen these two, especially like with Umaga alone, the man is vicious already.
And this would be a really great match.
Well, you know, Umaga will definitely dominate most of this match, not only by, you know, putting Cena through tables and putting Cena through the wooden palm tree cages and, you know, breaking a couple of wooden chairs over him and probably not spiking him, but just like butting his head with coconuts. So, you know, it's gonna be wild, but even all that adversity, John Cena will find somehow in some way to hit an attitude adjustment from like not the top rope, but like the top of that the palm tree cage to get that win. So it'll be like something insane that you'll see like once in a lifetime, like a Mick Foley type of deal, but with Umaga.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Well, I see this match like my son said, very brutal. You know, people getting smacked with chairs and kendo sticks and all that stuff, and John Cena pretty much just getting the living bejesus kicked out of him.
But that one thing I can tell you though, John Cena.
I know, but let me finish. You didn't let me finish. But I also know that John Cena has taken on the best. Triple H. Great Khali. You see the way he did in an attitude adjustment on Khali all the way to the ground. Batista, The Undertaker. So I got to give this to John Cena because there's no way that man is going to give up at any time. So.
And it's not even that. John Cena is the type of person to be an all-around person. It doesn't matter what kind of match you put John Cena in, he's always good in that specific match. Especially if it's one of these type of matches because he's built for things like that. Well, he's built for matches like that.
We got it. John Cena advances to the finals of this Bracket B tournament. Now, here is the next match. Ravishing Rick Rude against Daniel Bryan. Jaden, let's spin that wheel. Okay. Again, another blank one that we, the hosts, choose. Okay, Jose, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, I picked the last one.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know Ravishing.
Why did you pick, Lewis? You think of something creative.
Let me see. How about a 60-man Iron Man match?
A 60.
Sure, let's do it. 60-man Iron Man match.
Okay, but this doesn't have any disqualification or no countouts.
Okay.
That would be a brutal, crazy match.
Okay, so Jaden, I'm going to put this to you. How would you see these two going in a 60-man Iron Man match? Do you think these two are even capable of doing that?
I feel like both men are capable of doing that, especially at the fact that it's a no disqualification. You said no disqualifications, right? Exactly, no disqualifications. So if you're going to put those two in that type of match with no disqualifications, nobody said they couldn't use any type of weapon to get their opponent down. So they're going to use everything to their advantage in order to win that match. So I don't think the match would be so bloody, but it would be tiring, especially since the fact you got to go through 59 other men in order to win that match. You said a 60.
Whoa.
You said 60 men.
60 minutes Iron Man match. No.
You said 60.
No.
60
No. 60-minute
60 minute, not 60
You
minutes.
said 60 minutes.
Right.
Dad, you just said 60 minutes.
Okay. Let me
minutes.
60-minute Iron Man match.
Okay, because you said man.
Okay. If I did, I'm sorry. 60 minutes.
Yo, that's a hell of a battle royal, yo. Like
I was about to
no
say,
DQ,
right?
60 man.
60 minutes.
Because I heard man.
60,
but 60
okay.
minutes Iron Man.
60 minutes Iron Man match. Who do you think will get the most falls? Okay, we'll get back to that. Jose, who's your pick on this one?
Pinfall and submissions count. False count. Is this going to be a false count anywhere type of deal?
No.
Or
No.
okay, so it's just 60 minutes, no DQ, no count out. Oof. Daniel Bryan. I got Daniel Bryan on this one.
Wow.
Again, it's just because he's a hybrid wrestler, bro. Like he's very underrated. People don't understand like how good Daniel Bryan is. Like Daniel Bryan can be the most hated heel. We saw him when he was, Captain Planet heel a couple years ago with Daniel Bryan. He's such a good heel, and even when he was doing the no gimmick, he was a great heel. I like him better as a heel than a babyface, but that doesn't.
Okay. Okay. Give me one moment. I got to stop this for a second. We got a fan that just said Daniel Bryan is trash. Okay. Let me stop you right there. You're a big AEW fan, and I understand that. But Daniel Bryan is not trash. The man is phenomenal in the ring. He's extraordinary. He can go.
Listen, he or she is entitled to their opinion.
No, he is, and I respect that. But to me, my opinion is Daniel Bryan is not trash. Definitely not.
Oh
so
no,
I'm
he's absolutely not.
And there's many fans here that are saying Daniel Bryan will take this match. So, as you mentioned, again, back to technicality. Daniel Bryan, to me, was a better technical wrestler than Radisson Rick Rude. Yes, Radisson Rick Rude did do I think it was a half-hour Iron Man match in WCW with Ricky Steamboat. Yes, he did. But this is Daniel Bryan. This is not Ricky Steamboat. No disrespect to Ricky Steamboat, Hall of Famer, one of the best of all time, but different generation. So yes, Daniel Bryan advances to the finals.
John Cena versus Daniel Bryan in the final of bracket B.
They didn't spin that wheel. Woo. Ooh. An ambulance match.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, so in this case, who's the babyface and who's the heel?
I want John Cena.
You want John Cena as the heel?
He was more aggressive when he was the doctor of thugonomics. But to be honest, no. I can't even really decide that because Daniel Bryan was also a good heel. So I'll let you guys decide that because I can't really. I can't decide. I like both of them as heels.
I like Daniel Bryan's heel way. Oh yeah, pollution and all that stuff, and save the tree, all that shit that he's doing. But yeah, I also like John Cena's Doctor of Thugonomics as well, dissing everybody he can. But I'm gonna have to go with John on this one.
Who says we can't have it? Let's have Doctor of Thugonomics versus Captain Planet Daniel Bryan.
Well, that's true. He could still be the face, and Daniel could be the heel. That's actually a great idea.
What about if we put heel versus heel? Makes things more interesting.
There's no rules. There's no rules on what we can and can't do.
It's whatever. So we got one pick already. Jeff Robinson says Cena's winning this. What do you, Jose? What's your outtake in this match? Ambulance match out of all matches between John Cena and Daniel Bryan.
Man, I could actually see this happening. Like I could actually, because we have seen John Cena versus Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan has beaten John Cena.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not forget about that, ladies and gentlemen. That Daniel Bryan has actually beaten John Cena to become World Heavyweight Champion, not once but twice. So Daniel Bryan is up there, dude. This is a hard decision because I did say at the beginning that was going to be Cena versus The Fiend, but I have a feeling that it's probably going to be Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend. So I'm going to go Daniel Bryan on this one.
Okay, we got Christopher Brown that he's also voting for Daniel Bryan. He's voting behind Bryan. What do you think, Dave? How do you see this match going?
He's going John Cena. You know you're going John Cena.
I'm going John Cena. I am.
Sure.
But the match should be interesting overall though, because I like both of them, and like you said, Daniel Bryan is a different breed. He's a different type of wrestler. He's not like every other wrestler. Daniel Bryan is completely different from a lot of other wrestlers. So it'll be hard. It would have been hard to decide, but I gotta put it.
It's just tough to call, man, because it's like Daniel Bryan, like you said, he did beat him for the heavyweight championship, and it was just in a regular match. Imagine bringing that anger coming out of him and that aggressiveness in an ambulance match. You know, it changes everything. I would have to say, I'm caught between him.
Did I just read that somebody says I need an apology?
Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you feel that you need an apology.
Jeff Robinson says most other matches types I would have Bryan, but Cena will get Super Cena crazy and bust him up.
I can totally see that. Yeah, I can totally see that. He'll just totally level up and just go like Super Saiyan Cena, you know?
So we got 2 and 2. And I'm the tiebreaker here. I'm going to go with Daniel on this one.
Ooh, I did not expect that. I thought you were all in on Cena.
I'm gonna explain why. Daniel Bryan, you know, John Cena, don't get me wrong, Doctor of Thugonomics. The man, he's been in many brawls, he's been in many brutal matches. But like you said, when it comes to Daniel Bryan is what I call a better version of the Dynamite Kid. Like very fast, strong, speed, aggressive. Because you know that the Dynamite Kid was always aggressive in the ring with the British Bulldogs. So I'm definitely going to give this to Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan is advancing to the final match, which is Daniel Bryan against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Jaden, spin this wheel like your life depended on it and give us a hell of a match. A scaffold match.
A scaffold match. You know, I've never seen a scaffold match.
Me neither. I've never seen a scaffold match.
Man. It's a very dangerous match.
I've never seen a scaffold.
It's a very dangerous match. You climb up to that scaffold and you're fighting on top of a scaffold and you could fall. That at one point Jim Cornette hurt himself from a scaffold where he fell with his tag team. I believe it was the Midnight Express. So it's pretty brutal.
Well, if that's the case, then the Fiend's taking the whole damn thing.
I feel like the match will go is that Daniel Bryan is gonna take over the match, and then the Fiend is gonna make one of his miraculous get-ups like he did in that Hell in a Cell match with him and Seth, and then he's gonna throw him off of the scaffold.
You know, it's a funny comment Christopher Brown just said. So we get a Wyatt family reunion for the finals.
Oh, nice.
Because Daniel Bryan was part of the Wyatt family for a little brief moment.
It was.
So guys.
See, it all comes back full circle.
So, who's your pick, Jaden?
My pick is the Fiend.
The Fiend. So we got 2, the Fiend. I'm gonna go with the Fiend. The Fiend's been crushing it the entire tournament. Like he couldn't be stopped. Just like he can't be stopped in WWE right now either. So I'm definitely going to go with the Fiend. And Jaden, for the first time in our first ever inter-promotional tournament, Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, is our champion and winner. Oh, man. Jaden, what did you think about this tournament?
This tournament was crazy, but it was fun. It was pretty cool. The stipulations that we had, the matchups that we had, like especially with Bracket 2. Bracket 2 was my favorite matchups. So it was pretty fun, and it was cool, and I felt the Fiend was going to take it all because, like I said, you can put the Fiend in any type of match. The Fiend is built for pain, and he feeds off of pain. So
Yeah,
Jose.
I think I just read a comment that Bray is built for a scaffold match.
Yeah, he's definitely built for that type of match. You got to see the match on YouTube if you get a chance. Look for a scaffold match there. It's a pretty good match. That will suit him for sure. What did you think about this tournament, Jose? Overall?
I mean, I thought it was pretty interesting, very intriguing. You know, from last week to this week, and how everything just kind of meshed up, and like even like a retirement match that happened to just kind of fall in perfectly with everything that that we were doing. So you know what, it was very intriguing. I had a lot of fun, and just being able to picture these scenarios with these matches, and just kind of really just thinking about it, like who I would put over and why. It really made it it made it fun.
Yeah, no, it was definitely fun. See. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I just gotta read this comment out loud. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, Blake. I'm sorry. You're my fan. You're one of my fans, but this is a ridiculous comment. The Usos better than the Road Warriors? Are you kidding me? The Road Warriors is by far the best team of all time.
Is that what you think?
No, it's not, bro. No,
Yes,
it's not. No, it's not. You know who I'm gonna. You know who I'm about to say. You know who I'm about to say, because there's no one better than the 9-time WWE World Tag Team Champions.
He's being sarcastic.
No,
Blake is being sarcastic.
There's no one better
I don't
than
know.
Team Extreme.
I don't know. Listen, this is gonna be a different
Our Team 3D, bro. 3D all day, every day.
3D. No, but listen.
Listen,
We're in the works for that too, having a inter-promotional tag team tournament. So be on the lookout for that, man.
That'd be pretty cool. I like to do that one.
But what we definitely need to be on the lookout for is Survivor Series. I was on Jose's show. You know, I kind of got put on timeout for a dumbass comment I said about the Bella Twins. You know, this guy was a freaking jerk over here put me on timeout, but I'm okay. I'm okay. So Survivor Series, by far one of the best, cards that is hard to predict. Like I think I did terrible. I'd be surprised if I win at all. But Jose, we made the predictions, so we want to hear those same predictions here today, if you don't mind. Jaden, you're gonna give your predictions. I already know mine. So we're gonna start off with Bobby Lashley against Sami Zayn, the United States champion and the Intercontinental champion.
I gotta go with Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
I gotta go with Bobby.
All right. Yes, I also picked Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry, you can't match that, Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley.
Only because I'm only saying that because I haven't seen
So
Sami Zayn.
I gotta ask, do my predictions from yesterday affect my predictions from today? So can I have like different predictions today, and it won't affect my predictions from yesterday?
No, you're absolutely right. It won't affect it here.
All right,
I'm
going Sami Zayn.
Okay, he's going Sami Zayn. All right.
I'm going Sami Zayn, dude, because like everybody's like discarding Sami Zayn, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, he just might take the whole thing. I don't know.
Sami Zayn
Listen,
he's probably the underdog.
Since he's come back, he's he's won a few matches, but we want to see that match, that match that would.
He's the people's champ. He's the people's champ.
That's The Rock. The Rock is the people's champ.
Well, Sammy's the new people's champ. He's the 2020 people's champ.
We got that prediction. So now the next match is two tag teams, which he just mentioned. The 9-time WWE champions, The New Day, against the Street Profits, the SmackDown tag team champions. Jada, this match, a lot of people have been talking about. They wanted to see that match, and it's finally going to happen. You know The New Day. You don't know the Street Profits, though. You've seen a match here too, but
I'm going with The New Day.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
See, I guess I'm not the only one. I'm not there because I made that prediction yesterday in Rica's Wrestling.
I'm going with The New Day.
Jose, are you going to stick with your pick then, or are you going to? Okay, he has picked the Street Profits. He's picking the Street Profits.
Handing out L's left and right, baby. We want the smoke. Listen, one thing hasn't have to do with the other. Okay, one thing is being factual, and one thing is being a fan. I love both of them. I love the New Day and I love the Street Profits. But fact is, The New Day are nine-time tag team champions, and they had the longest reign of the world tag team titles in history. Okay, so how dare you even say that the Road Warriors are better than the New Day?
Listen, the Road Warriors have won titles all over the world, man. For you to even say that is preposterous, man. Come on. The Road Warriors have won over 20 titles all over the world. AWA, NWA, WCW, WWE, WWF, New Japan. Can I say more? They are the best. I don't care what anybody says. They kick the shit out of everybody.
And that's your opinion, and you can have it.
And I
sure will.
Yeah.
And I sure will.
Just like my opinion.
Anyway, this match, I'm not even going to ask him his prediction because he's definitely going to go with this person. Sasha Banks, SmackDown champion, and Asuka Roll as champion. You already know
that you picked.
Oh, I already picked Asuka. I know his pick already. That's what I'm saying.
Best wrestler in the world, bro. Sasha Banks.
I'm going with Sasha Banks. Me too. I'm going with Sasha Banks.
Get out of here.
I'm going with Sasha Banks.
Asuka's taking this.
The blueprint.
Let's see what the fans got to say. Let's see what the fans got to say. And I think there's a little tension in the chat room. Jeff Robinson and Blake still a little tied up about this tournament with Flair and Daniel Bryan. I think he got a figure. He voted out Flair.
Okay.
Let's continue. So you guys picked Sasha Banks. I'm picking Asuka. I'm sticking to Asuka. And Christopher Brown is taking Sasha for that match as well. So I guess I'm the only one out there, but I'm sticking by my word, by my gun. So the next match is the Women's Survivor Series match. We got Team Raw, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, Peyton Rosie, and Lana from Raw. And you got Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and 2 wrestlers to be announced, which we don't know.
We're going to find out tonight. We had mentioned
yesterday that they mentioned Rhea Ripley. We're hoping it's Rhea Ripley. That's when I said the Bella Twins. So, but Jose, you had mentioned Rhea Ripley. Do you see anybody else besides Rhea Ripley coming in this match? Because you guys mentioned about Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair has been mentioning she's going to come back too.
Yeah, but Charlotte's on Raw, though. Charlotte got drafted to Raw. Unless they do a swerve and they just put her on SmackDown. I mean, that'd be badass. I mean, having Charlotte and Rhea on SmackDown, that's like game over. But regardless of who they pick, of who those other 2 wrestlers, just with Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan, I mean, they have a much better squad than Raw has right now. The 2 strong women are just Shayna and Nia. Lacey Evans is awesome. I think she's great, but I don't think she should have been in that team. And why do you have is it Peyton Royce?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peyton Royce. Why is she even there? She needs to be with Billie Kay and being iconic again. I know we already know why that's not happening, but I just feel that Team SmackDown is going to be such a stronger and more cohesive team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go with Nia Jax.
Really? Wow.
I go with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. That's a power team.
Yeah, but then look at the 3 they have though.
I mean, but
Lana, Lacey Evans, and
I mean, but like
Lacey Royce, like that.
I still gotta go.
Like, come on,
that's my pick.
Okay, so we got a comment. Christopher Brown says Lana and Bianca will be the last ones standing for their respective teams before Bianca pins Lana for the 1, 2, 3. So yes, I'm gonna go with SmackDown on this one. That's clean sweep. But like you can't compare that tag team. I'm sorry. The only stronger ones there is Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So
I'm keeping my word.
So we got the men's Survivor Series match from Raw. Keith Lee, AJ Styles, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Matt Riddle. For SmackDown, you have Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, and Seth Rollins. Do we know who the 5th person is? Did they announce that 5th person?
We're supposed to find tonight.
Okay.
We're supposed to find out
tonight who's going to be it. So we don't know who's going to be a part of that match. Do you have any speculation?
No spoilers. If you guys are watching and they're ready to, no spoilers in the comments.
Please, no.
Yeah, no spoilers. We don't want no spoilers. I don't want to know who's teaming with them yet until I know for Survivor Series. we know that Jose picked Raw. Is that you sticking with that pick? All right.
I'm going with SmackDown.
Oh, see, I'm not the only one then. I picked SmackDown as well. I think it's going to be something of a proven point of Jey Uso's going to try to prove something to Roman to win and carry his team into battle.
Exactly.
So, but it is going to be a hell of a match.
It is.
Like, I'm not taking anything away from Raw because Raw got a whole shitload of powerhouse people.
They do.
Especially Keith Lee and Braun Strowman alone. It's like two titans could take over the entire team. But it's going to be an interesting match, and I'm looking forward to it. So, and then we have our final match, the match that now many people wanted to see. Drew McIntyre, the newly crowned WWE champion and SmackDown's champion, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
I can't decide. This one, it doesn't, for me, I don't care who wins because I like both. So it doesn't matter for me who wins that one. I can't really answer that because I like both of them and they're both doing really well right now. So I'm going to stay neutral. No, I don't have a pick for this match.
Excuse me. Well, we know Jose picked Drew.
Drew McIntyre, baby. All day, every day.
It's going to be a brutal match. It's going to be a very interesting match. You know, finally we get to see Drew McIntyre in his prime going up against Roman as the heel that they finally needed to do. So the match is just going to be incredible. Besides Drew getting the victory, do you see anything else happening after this match?
I don't know. Possibly, you know, maybe an attempted cash-in from The Miz. With, you know, maybe some of that shenanigans playing out. We may have maybe the Fiend try to do something or maybe get involved. I just don't see, usually with these Survivor Series pay-per-views, we don't see like those big shenanigans like we do with like in the other mid-card pay-per-views. So I think we'll probably see more shenanigans like at TLC than we will on this one. I think we're gonna have like a lot more surprises, like matchups that we never thought that we were wanting to see, like Keith Lee versus Big E. If we hopefully get that, you know, that would be awesome. You know, like that's a badass matchup right there. You know, Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler, like that's also a really cool matchup. So I typically kind of look at these as kind of like the Olympics of within their company. They're competing within themselves. So I don't really see so much shenanigans going down. Just probably more pure competition and just be like some oh shit moments. Like you didn't expect that to happen because that person went over this person. You know, I think we're probably going to be more surprised on some of the match results as opposed to what actually happens throughout the matches or after the matches. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see that match.
It is.
I'm definitely going to see it. And last but not least, Jose, for us anyway, because Jaden still young, but he knows. We're going to see one of our greats finally hang up his boots, man. We're going to see The Undertaker give his farewell at the Survivor Series, where it all started. I'm going to leave this off to you. You know, what was your best moment of The Undertaker? You know, what made you become a fan of The Undertaker, period?
Dude, listen, one of my favorite Undertaker moments has to be when he was in the Ministry of Darkness and he crucified Stone Cold Steve Austin on live TV.
I remember that.
Not only he crucified him, but there was a wide shot with lightning bolts shooting down and fire coming off to the side. I'm like, holy shit, like this guy's for real. Like this guy has a pact with the devil. He has supernatural powers. And like I've absolutely loved The Undertaker since then. He's always just been a captivating character. I just got finished watching the other day the Brothers of Destruction documentary they have on the network.
It was a good one.
Very good documentary. A lot of insight into both, you know, Glenn Jacobs and Mark Calloway. You know, the profession, you know, not just as men, but as their characters and how their characters evolve. Definitely, he's gonna be missed, but I think it's time. You know, I think it's time for him to ride into that sunset. He's had a great career, and it's funny because Savio Vega is going to be part of the farewell, part of the BSK guys, along with the Godfather and Rikishi. They're all going to be there. Savio Vega just had an interview with one of my close friends here in Orlando with Marky Marcano, plugging in Survivor Series, talking about that and how big of a deal it is for him because Savio Vega is actually a very close friend of The Undertaker. I didn't know that. I didn't know they're like boys. Like Godfather, Savio, all those dudes, like those guys are very tight knit group. And it's awesome to see Savio, one of our own, go up and give that final farewell to the Phenom.
Yeah. Jaden, what do you think? What was your fondest moment of The Undertaker, and what made you become a fan?
It didn't necessarily make me become a fan, but it was when him and Triple H had that Hell in a Cell match when Shawn Michaels was special guest referee. Undertaker won the match, and at the end of the match, like they was all walking out towards the stage area, and I was like, that's just like a very touching moment because
it was an end of an era.
Exactly, and those guys have had the greatest matches of all time. No matter what kind of match it was, those guys had one of the best matches. And if there was anybody that can match with the Undertaker, or that was a good opponent for the Undertaker, it would be Triple H. So that was my favorite moment with the Undertaker.
I'd say I became a fan of The Undertaker when, as Jose mentioned, when he finally became the Ministry of Darkness. You started seeing more of an attitude of The Undertaker. You saw the beard, you saw more aggressive side of him. But what caught my attention the most, and I would say this to the end, the man had an excellent match, which to me was the best match of all time, with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26.
That was a very good match, yeah.
That was an epic match. Like 2 years in a row, those two had matches that people today still can't do. What those superstars did that day, and the way that the career The Undertaker had, like, what was it, a decade of destruction that this man was just tearing down the WWE, going through everybody. I mean, he went through Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, like even Hulk Hogan. When he first came in, he would beat Hulk Hogan undefeated for the title at Survivor Series 1991. But it's gonna be sad to see him go, man. It really is. So we want to thank Undertaker for all his contributes to the ring, to the business, and what all he's done to professional wrestling. So, but fans, our time is up here. As always, please feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Also, Mr. Jose G of Weekends of Wrestling. Follow him on social media as well. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He is also the video editor of Sports Kita. Doing a great job editing. He also, when he mentioned The Godfather, Seth Rollins had referred The Undertaker to as the Godfather of professional wrestling. For myself, Lewis, the Encyclopedia of Pro Wrestling.
And Jay, the Whiz Kid of Pro Wrestling.
And from my colleague and good friend, Mr. Jose G. Thank you, sir, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be ready for Survivor Series, and I hope I get lucky.
We'll see, bro. We'll see. One thing that we know is that sometimes these big 5 pay-per-views can be a little unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you have a good night, man.
All right, bro. Take care. Have a good night.
Take care, friends. Have a good night.